Hello, everyone. Welcome to my presentation of my Arena Direct Tarkir Dragonstorm Performance Review. Ta-da! Thank you guys all for joining this meeting. Sorry, my internet might not be the best as I am in a little hotel in Laos right now. It is lovely. I highly suggest you go, but sorry, my connection is not the best. But anyway, I wanted to kind of go over all of my games and whether this was worth it. So let's kind of get into it. So first of all, I just wanted to kind of say that the point of this, of course, our objective here was to maximize our profits by converting our gems into the Dragonstorm Collector Booster Box. So the Arena Direct is a chance to take your gems and convert them into real physical Magic cards. So I have been playing on Arena for quite a while. I have just a little experience for me. I've done very well in sealed in real life. Notably, I went 9-0 day one in Amonkhet GP Vegas, so that was fantastic. So I feel pretty good about using my 29 years of Magic experience to try to do okay. Same time, Arena is a little different than in real life, and Best of One is different than paper and etc. But I was kind of thinking pretty well because I went 5-0 in my pre-release. So anyway, let me go through, we're going to go through some of the games, we're going to go through some of the stats, and we're going to see some of the decisions and all that type of stuff. So what I have here is some of the stuff we're going to go through the whole games and other things, but basically I wanted to kind of go through. So I mean, first of all, before we get in there, I'm sure you guys have all seen this the LRcast post here, navigating Tarkir Dragonstorm drafts, and I kind of wanted to go through a little bit of my strategy on sealed, very similar. Basically, for me, we'll get into it, and the first thing is did I open up any huge A+ bomb rares? And if no, can I play a Mardu deck that actually has a good curve? So let's get into this. So first of all, we're going to back up just a little here. So first of all, this was my first bullet. Well, every time I'm spending 5,000 gems, I'm hopefully you can still see this. You can. Okay, great. I just wanted to make sure. Let me get back over to Premiere. Great. Anyway, so every time that you spend the 5,000 gems is like a bullet. Like we're trying a chance. It's like a roulette machine, right? So in this, I basically, first of all, looking at my rares, I did win the pre-release with Fang's Keeper Familiar and Taigen. So I did like those. But Light Dancers is good and Familiar is good, but they're not A+ bomb. They're not an Ugin. They're not a Elspeth. Anyway, so the first thing I kind of also looked at is, can I start making a Mardu curve? Only just to kind of see and see how that pulled out. And unfortunately with this, I really just did not see an aggressive start here. Black, I will always love black, but in this set, a lot of the blacks just didn't seem as aggressive. And I had obviously 3 Camps of Truth and 3 Wild Rides, which I'm not really a big fan of. And sealed, maybe now I'd reconsider a little bit, but either way. So this is the deck that I ended up building. We can pull this over into. So basically, I really just tried to leverage the Fangkeeper's Familiar and the Lotus Dancers, and then I also felt that this was kind of what I felt as the most since I just didn't. What's the best 3-color deck that I can build with the most bombs and removal, right? So kind of looking at I think it's over here. Nope, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Well, it should be, oh, actually, it's probably this. No, that's yes, this is it. So, looking into this, I just didn't feel that there was an aggressive one, but I mean, there's a lot of mistakes and kind of thoughts here that are not so great. My idea was get the Lotus Light Dancers and grab as many things that work well in the graveyard with that, right? So I'm playing a lot of substandard cards to make this other card really shine. And I think I only ever cast it once anyway. But Agent of Kodos and Odorian Crocodile their lower win rate stats here. I'm sure in sealed it's not much better. Maybe it is. Crocodile hasn't even played enough. Anyway, so it's just one of those things where, and then yeah, my fixing was not really great. I have one devotee. I should not have been playing this Mistrais Village. This is purely a sideboard card. I don't know. I guess I know that I played 4 or 5 counterspells when I was playing sealed. So I guess I was, and I really highly, play the counterspells. Here I'm playing the 3 with the Fang's Keeper and the Exhale and the Denial. So like I just really, I don't know. The biggest thing is that I had just woken up. I had not even drank coffee, and I should have maybe looked at my fixing, and I should have at least played the Evolving Wilds. But anyway, we'll get into some of the gameplay here and see how this kind of ran out. But I'm trying to skip you guys a lot of time here. So if I jump back over into Premiere now, and you guys still see me? Yes, perfect, great. Okay, so cool. So basically, with that off the bat, the first problem I ran into here is my mana. I mean, like, obviously, this is not what you want to see. You have a blue 1-drop, no blue, 4-drop, 5-drop, and a 6-drop. And I should not have kept this, to be honest. That was also just a dumb mistake. But here, actually, this is my first hand. Sorry, my first hand was just all green. I did have a 2-drop, and honestly, this would probably been better. But I didn't want to mulligan the second time because they kept the 7, and I'm just an idiot. I'm just stupid. This is the thing, like, I guess I was kind of hoping that this sealed would be so slow that I could keep a 4-drop and hope that I could get there. It's just a reactive 4-drop, by the way. So this was just, I mean, they obviously play out a monument, and this just shows that in any of the modern sets, even if you're not building the board with creatures, you need to be doing something with your mana. And so I just get very quickly behind here because I just can't do anything. And I love Champion of Dasan, but this is just an overall horrible position here to be in because now they're playing their Siege. I have nothing, and I'm pretty much very quickly outranked here, and I just should have never kept this. And just draw blue cards, cry. It's so bad. Here I'm just basically trying to kill the champion so I can make this big enough to block zombies, which is just brutal. I mean, their one monument is basically 2 for 1. Well, I didn't need to do that, to be honest. I probably would have blocked. Or no, that's right. They would have. Whatever. This was just horribly bad. And I get my land, but it's way too late, and it's just really bad. And I'm skipping through this because I do try to recover here, but this 3/6 lifelink at 4 with a flyer is just not going to get there. So, and it's really bad. And they had removal, by the way, anyway. So, yeah. So it was a bad keep. Because I'm not playing Evolving Wilds, it's just bad. And I did not even recognize my mistake. I was trying to make a lower curve. So I was trying to get a lower curve than having all these 5-drops. So I add in a 4-drop. It's really just dumb. So here at least, I don't even know why I kept this, but I did draw a 2-drop. I kept it because I had because I had 3 land, which is just stupid. My goal here was just to get the Death Toucher off the board. I have been liking Sarkhan's Resolve a whole lot better. I kind of stopped playing it for a little bit, but against so many flyers in this set, it's pretty great. And even against the aggro decks, you can at least maybe save a blocker from removal. But you can also get blown out. I mean, they're playing very classic Globe Dragon 5 color. And with her Death Toucher, I'm pretty much just in trouble. And here, I'm just getting so punished because of not having blue. Again, Evolving Wilds, and/or just building a better mana base. It's just one of those things where I guess I assumed that it was sealed, so I just thought that it would be slow enough to wait forever. Because the other thing with the familiar and also playing counter spells in blue is then your best option here is to not do anything. But so the good news here is they flash out their dragon. I get to counter it. But now I didn't get to gain the 3 life, which in this case I couldn't have had profitable blocks. But I'm kind of glad that I splashed the Severance here because this worked out really well here. Although it ended up being 7 mana. And here I just don't have enough removal, don't have nothing against flyers. I mean, yes, I get to slow it down for one more turn, but it's not going to be enough. And I like Tegan, but boy, the 4 turns to get the extra spell just takes too long. I was just hoping for some sort of removal, but I don't have a lot of removal against 4 toughness anyway. So, and then I'm so sleepy that I go to make my deck again. I go look at my deck, and I very sadly realized I had not been playing the Evolving Wilds. So I go get ready to go back into the fight with a 41 card deck, which I almost never do. Debate about playing Mardu Monuments. Yeah, it's really sad. Only to realize that I had already lost. So that was highly embarrassing, really bad. And the biggest lesson is, yeah, don't play Magic at higher stakes when you're not ready, when you're not physically ready. Look at your sim levels, see how they're doing. So, all right, next. I didn't have much in the deck building. Hang on, let me make sure you guys are seeing me. All right, cool. Everything good? Great. Okay, so basically, my second bullet, I really feel I lucked out. So let me pull up that here. I'm trying not to show spoilers, but it's also... Okay, so my second deck, I did open a River Regent, which I do believe is like an A, and in Sealed, I kind of believe that that Death Begets Life is probably also up there. I also won the pre-release with a grindy Sultai deck, so it's kind of one of those things where I just decided absolutely I'm just going to go and make sure as long as I get as much removal as possible. I also tried not to make a deck that required 6/6/6 of lands, right? So building out this deck, let's go into Manuvat Valley here. I tried to stick with as much green as I could, splashing only black for removal and for the what I consider bombs, right? And removal and the wraths. And this deck, at the same time, I could have with this pool, I could have gone Mardu. I think this pool, because it had still some good black removal. Reigning Victor in Sealed is whatever, but I did feel that I had so many 2-drops, it could have been interesting. I don't know if the Kitron would have worked out well enough because I don't think I had anything great to combo except for Sage of the Skies. It would have been amazing to basically return that. I don't. Yeah, so that's the only thing is maybe Mardu would have been the way to go, but I felt. I don't know. I felt that this would be underwhelming. That like the Butcher and the Victor are. One Sage of the Skies is great, but you're not going to draw every game, especially when you have no acceleration, no way to like get through your deck. So I ended up going with the Sultai build. The thing is, I did play 18 lands because I have 2 8-drops. And I have some Wayfarers, but I don't have like globes to really ramp me. I don't have what I do have is the Heirloom, which I also think is actually fantastic. I'm surprised the win rate's not higher on this, because I just feel that when you can make it happen, when you can get the 4 power to draw cards, especially in sealed, there's just it's just I feel unbeatable. Which is a little why I also played the Storm Brood too, because the Storm Brood, those extra counters on something can quickly get out of control. So let's get into a little bit of the gameplay and kind of see how things go. Okay, so on this, I kept this my first thing because I had a Wayfarer, I had all my colors, and let's start. The problem here is having an 8-drop, but at least you know your plan also. You can kind of build around the Wraths, either let them overcommit or... So with this deck, I don't want to miss my land drops, so I ended up taking it. I've been playing the Golgari. I mean, this is just a good sign to me that they probably are missing lands, that they want to use this ability now before even missing out on the damage. The Botanist, I haven't been able to make it work yet with the Relic yet, but I do love that the Botanist combos, you know, with Harmonize and some of the other things. And for me, them seeing the Master this early without doing double spell just really made them ahead. The only bad thing here is I know that if they counter spell the Regent, that I'm not going to have much action other than wrathing the board and waiting until later. Also here I just have really bad Piercing Exhale targets. That's the other thing. Playing with multiple Sardu devotees can kind of help with that. And right now, because I have so little action, I'm not using the River Regent, and also I don't feel that much pressure. I'm not using the River Regent just to draw. That might have been a mistake. This is where I easily get blown out. It's very stupid of me. During the pre-release, Snake's Gun Veil was super clutch for winning, Sultai winning, so. And they're tapped out, and I can at least take advantage of this. It sucks because they're going to get to use the draw and the discard ability again, but... And I don't have Snake's Gun Veil up right now. But Teamer is a lot harder to deal with it than if they were white-black. Then they have their own. Which is this game of bouncing back and forth, I think is funny. But now I can hold mine up and hold on to Snakes and Veils, so I think it's pretty great. I thought this was interesting that they didn't try to go bounce for it again, but... And this is where Snakeskin Veil just really helped me out. But again, I knew everyone at the pre-release was so salty that I would really keep up Snakeskin Veil on whenever it was really important. This is a great example of it. I thought this was a little weird that they chose to harmonize instead of just dealing the 8 damage to me, but... Here decided to just be better to draw the cards. So I love the Blizzard. I know its win rate on 17 lands isn't all that great, but it's been... So I mean, this is just a 4-for-1, but I still felt it was worth it. It was totally fine. The Guardian's amazing, for sure. The hexproof has been really good. I've really enjoyed playing the Guardian along with the Dragonologist, because that way you can still attack, but since it has Vigilance, that way you can still keep the hexproof. So right now I'm just trying to get out as much value as I can. I was kind of surprised they didn't just play out the dragon just to have another 4-4, but... They were really in the tank here, but... I was at 21 life, so I just felt it was worth losing the hexproof on the dragon. So this is the thing, with Trawlers, it's just so great because you can just keep on bringing back your Wraths. But I was in a head right now, so it didn't feel like it was worth it. Problem about bouncing the Guardian here is that then it gets back the hexproof. And it was a little too big to use knockout maneuver on, but... I thought this was really weird because this is one of those few spells in this that is actually, the Constrictor's better in the graveyard. So I thought that was kind of funny, but it did prevent me from adding 4 power and toughness to the board. And there you go. I'm just happy that I got a win at this point. So here's the thing: the heirloom I really love, just because it fixes your mana, and you know the problem with it is I just had nothing playable, and the botanist here is by far better. So plus also I like using let's see, here we go. Yeah, I decided not to. Yeah, I decided. Yeah, here's much better because I can Dispelling Exhale on 2, and then after I lose the botanist or whatever, then bring the trawler back to bring the Exhale back. This actually worried me a little just because them having a 2/2 out, if they have removal for the botanist, could have been trouble. But I also figured they're Jess guys, so it's not that big of a deal. Yeah. This would have been a really aggressive problem for me, but. I guess holding up the counterspell seemed to work out. The thought was that if they had a removal, that it was just much better to counter their 3-drop. Here I have a little problem that I need the botanist to die, or so I can use the trawler to get back the counterspell, but. Probably shouldn't have done it, but this... Especially when they ended up having removal here anyway. But at least I got to use the fight spell, I guess, before I did. Argument could have been made that it would have been better to just use removal, but in this set I've been really, I don't know, trying to consciously save some removal for when they're real threats. And in sealed with 2 cards, I just didn't feel like they were going to do the double strike so easily, but... I think a big reason why Constrictor Stage has gone down for me in this set is just that there's not like a really good black-blue tempo or blue-green tempo. At this point, I'm assuming that they have some big thing, big Jeskai dragon. Oh, there we go. Didn't even need to play the Regent, but it's also because I didn't have the second blue. I probably should have used it to draw the cards. So having 4 land and then using the wild in here to get my blue. The problem here is I just have so little action that if I just flooded out, it could have been really bad. But at least I had the 2-drop. But like they just use removal on me, and then things could have gone really bad. I really like the Breaker in the Golgari deck. I actually drafted it 4 times now. I think it's very funny though that the Leopard kept the Breaker back. I just thought that was really weird. Either they're trying to get enough. So at this point, I almost considered drafting. I guess the problem with all the Omens is that you're shuffling it back into the deck, but you are using up a card draw. You know, I mean, yes, you still get that thing later in the deck, which is nice, but you're still using up a card draw to get it. So I guess maybe early on I tried not to use the Omens as much, and maybe that was a mistake. Probably should have taken the trade, but at this point I was still, yeah, this attack kind of freaked me out, to be honest. I assumed that they maybe had the 1 black mana, 1 colorless, indestructible Rep Touch. I do love this dragon. I've had it used against me, but I've never actually played it yet. The remove all counters is brutal against the Golgari deck that I've been playing. Yeah, it feels so good just, you know, drawing the 3 cards and sealed. It's probably just too expensive and not really worth it. Yeah, I mean, the thing that they needed here, I mean, some sort of... It's just so nice to be able to basically refill my hand and then get the Wrath. But it was a good way of them stabilizing. The 3/3 dragon. And there you go. That was also evidence that I could get to the 8 mana when needed. So here, I love the heirloom, so I'm super happy here. The only problem is that I don't have anything that like has 4 power that's cheap to really utilize it, but and a 2 mana rock for. So problem here is this shutting down the actual leopard that I'm a little afraid of, but. They have the Abzan Siege. I should have used the heirloom here to power up the Sultai Dupati, so I could have just Piercing Exhaled it. But the heirloom was dead, that's right. That was the problem. Yeah, the Conqueror shuts down my heirloom completely. So that's right. At this point, it was a little... This is one of those things where if I don't get the extra blue, the region's pretty bad. And the trawlers don't help out a lot either. Just didn't want to give up the region, but I probably should have taken it for this rail. Sometimes I overvalue the... But now that I have the heirloom live again, now that I killed their dragon, I can finally activate the heirloom, so... But now I think I get a little greedy or patient because I don't want to... Like, the Devotee is the worst thing for me to bounce. And the Pack Beast is another horrible thing to bounce. But I still do it. Because here I figure, even with them drawing a card, they're going to have to use up their turn. Also realized that they were Abzan and not Marty, which I thought they were. But yeah, at this point, once you start drawing cards with the heirloom, I just I mean, even though they had 5 cards in their hand, if they don't have an Elspeth or a Ugin, it started to feel pretty good. The only problem is it'd been nice to have the double blue for the Lizard, which I think is probably another reason why its win percentage is so low on 17 lands. But another win, so I was super happy. So, yeah, this is where this is where I regret going 3 colors, but I do have the destroy a target creature, and I do have the counterspell. But when all of your mana fixing is based off of green, and then you don't have green, it's super annoying. But and my goal here is pretty much counter whatever they play, I think. Yeah. And I try not to behold dragons. I don't try not to give my opponent any information that they don't like. There was no reason there to behold the dragons, so I just didn't want to show that I had dragons available. And here I have an 8-drop with... This is where I was really worried, because I have an 8-drop while, you know... I feel the Pack Beast can be fairly aggressive. But this worked out. At the pre-release, I saw people use the Pack Beast, and it was amazing. The Brigade in Mardu just doesn't seem all that as impactful. The Brigade in the beginning I loved just because you could fit it in Sultai or Mardu, I thought, but I don't know. I feel now it just doesn't quite have a home. The argument could be made that it would have been better to just use the Wildling to get the land, but then I just felt that I would have so little available to me. Also, this rare land I was really worried about too, because that was a good one. I just wanted to make sure that they didn't get value out of the mobilize counter here. And also, I wanted to make sure that they couldn't attack in, which was a little weird that they even did that. That was just really bizarre. But I think it was just they didn't understand how the land works, that if you can't attack it, you don't get the trigger. Well, I mean, I'm still at a healthy life total. The exhale here without a dragon goes way down. I was also surprised that they did that, but now they have the Mardu Monument active, so. I felt this was just better for them to pay the 4 mana to get it, because this prevented them from activating the Mardu, so that saved me from 3 damage now. And having the heirloom here with this dragon is great now, because now I'm feeling much better. And I'm 1 land away from the Wrath, so. The heirloom not ramping for the Wrath is kind of a problem. The globe probably would be much better, but here I just feel like I'm pretty much gonna just take the land just to have the Wrath, even though I'm fairly ahead. The Wrath also gets enchantments, so. So, I mean, this gave me, it killed 4 of their things, 1 of mine, but then I get to draw 5 cards. It just, yeah. And also I get back my dragon. This snakeskin veil here is just, feels pretty brutal. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I was kind of surprised they didn't use the land. Maybe they just, I don't know, because I guess it wouldn't have really mattered. Yeah, just why didn't they use the land to make tokens? Because that way you at least had something to attack with. But whatever, it's fine. Maybe they just didn't realize. Because it does remove creatures from their yard. I mean, lifelink here is good, but not when I have Blizzard up. I don't know why they blocked this way. Well, I guess they blocked this way because they thought the lifelink was going to save them, but it was the absolute wrong thing to do. I mean, I had another spell to kill them no matter what, but still, they should have blocked the 3/3. So I was pretty happy to beat, I guess, the aggressive Mardu Sealed. It was not that aggressive. It was fine, but you know. Going here into the finals, I felt pretty great. Pretty sure I keep this because this is. But having all my colors feels very refreshing after getting completely brutalized. I was worried. This guy, Lucas, your World Championship sleeves, did scare me. I was like, this guy must know what he's doing. Use removal right away. pretty much I just did not want to miss my land drops, but I was a little upset that I did it so soon, getting the heirloom right away, because that, you know. But him doing the Praiser at this point kind of scared me, because he's already got me up on cards. And I hate using, I mean, this was, I just didn't want to use a removal because it's just a 2/1 that he's already gotten a card off of. But this removal also felt bad because he's gonna, that dragon's just gonna come back. Did not want to kill my own enchantment. So this is where things, I felt I was really in trouble. Because when they played the Paragon of the Way, I didn't even entirely knew what it did. I just knew it was bad. I thought it, for some reason I thought it copied the next spell, but either way, I was very afraid. And I knew that I pretty much knew the only chance I was going to have was to get my Wrath, and I still knew that I was lands away. But yeah, I misplayed, thinking, whatever, the whole getting blown out there. So, yeah, I mean, if I did not draw this land, I had to double check. But I mean, it kills 3 of their things, and you get 4. So I use 1 card to get 7 card advantage. It seems pretty amazing. So the thing is that they were able to stabilize so quickly. Just wanted the card draw, but I mean, also I didn't want to bounce the trawlers. Bouncing the DOT just seemed dumb. I guess I was waiting. Oh, and then this. Yeah, so this, really not great. Now, I also didn't do the math right because I thought, oh, I don't know why I thought it was power, not toughness, but it's fine. And I just felt here at this point, now that I got the second Wrath off, that well, the Shrieker's another thing you don't want to be bouncing back to their hand. Here's where I thought about trawling back up for my Wrath the 3rd time. Sometimes I get caught up a little too much in trying to get the maximum value. I kept on wanting them to utilize their dragon, give the counters up so that way I could bounce something. Kind of wondering how many mythics they had at this point. And here I just decided that instead of just wrathing again and decking myself with 11 cards left, that it would be much better to just play the big dragon and then hold up Snakeskin Veil. And hope that they didn't have the hard counter for it, basically. Could have bounced the Trawler back up. Probably. I don't know. Them at 23, I needed to start applying pressure fast. Yeah, this guy knew how to use this card. I don't know. I do think it's good. I mean, it's fine. So, I think they could have done a little better there at the end. They still at 20 life, but I was super happy. Like, I will take it. It was fantastic. Yay! First time beating Arena Director, my second try. I was so happy about the deck. I ran off to post it on Discord. I was just super happy. And my mind at this point, I'm thinking, you know, if I can, my completion rate is 50%. Like, how many boxes could I win? You know, I was just really, really, you know, I was really like just enthralled with how good overall I was. I mean, the only thing is, I guess, like, I didn't play the Sage of the Skies, but after that, I just didn't feel that like I was missing out on anything. Obviously, I got pretty lucky that I mean I didn't have the greatest fixing, but what helped me here is I was only splashing the black. I mean, I guess maybe technically it was a little more, right? I had four cards, 5 cards if you count Stormbrood, that needed the black. I the double blue got me in trouble a couple times, so that's where maybe you know because in Seal it's just so hard to only have one dual land. Um, but I just didn't have any of the monuments, right? Yeah. So I mean, overall, I was really, really happy with it. I've definitely gone undefeated and sealed before, but this was fantastic, and I think the best I've done. I've made day 2 on Arena Opens now twice, 3 times I think, but I always lose right before winning anything. So, but you know, the problem with me is that you know I'm looking at my win percentage and I'm like, this is amazing. I just got to keep on going. So I don't stop. I play a third time. So this, basically, I woke up the next day. I did have coffee, but I had to do some work, and I finished my work up, and I was like, I noticed, oh, the Arena Direct is still going on. I can win more boxes. This was really stupid of me. So I go back and I go back in. Let me pull up. Is it no, not this one. Not this one. Sorry, I guess I. 1 second. This is my other. Okay, that's that one. Okay, let me go back to 17 lands. Oh, well, here you go. Sorry about the spoilers. It doesn't go well. It goes really bad. So what I was saying about my pool before is, and I didn't spend all this as much time as I am now. Like I just kind of built it out. I didn't bring it into sealed deck .tech. I didn't go by the ratings. At this point within this set, I was not really liking. Normally, I love Lords of Limited, but I wasn't really liking their rankings anyway because they were really down. I mean, in the beginning, they were down on Sibsig Appraiser. They were down on the monuments. I don't know. I just didn't really feel that they had the right thing. So going back to my flow chart, you know, basically starting at the beginning. Did I open any A+1 bombs? I did not really feel that way. Maybe I made mistakes, but I mean, I did think the Arbiter of Virtue was yes, right? So I thought yes. And then the second part of this was like, I should have maybe stuck with the 3, but I didn't have a good aggressive Mardu deck, so I decided I could just run 5 dragons, right? Because I had more than 5 dragons. I had a globe. So, I mean, maybe I could have done, I guess maybe, I wasn't as high on the Quarry Steel Cutter as I'm now. But, like, I definitely could have done, I mean, what I did like about white is I had the double, is this the right, yeah, this is the right one, right? Maybe it's just because, again, I after winning with those bombs, I just felt that in sealed, I was not going to get there. Because here, I just really felt my red removal was pretty bad. I have no cheap red. I didn't see the value in blood flies yet. So, I mean, now I certainly have. But I have, my Mardu is basically, I do like Zergo. But I just felt I couldn't get there. Maybe I'm not so high on the Intimidator. The win ratio definitely shows it's not. It could have been a fine as a top of the curve. But I just really at the time didn't like the Dragonback Lancer. The Sun Shield I wanted to love, but it just was no good. Battle Priest definitely could have played. But Oh, also Smile at Death. I mean, I guess just having a couple 2-drops, I just don't think it would have worked. So anyway, so because of that, I went 5-color. And let me go pull up this deck here. Now, again, I had been busy. I was running out of time. I definitely should have eaten, but I was like, hey, I've got a globe at 3 monuments, 1 devotee. I can make this happen. Um, I think I think splashing for white, I was trying to get more removal, but that was, and I definitely also had a lot more fixing and double evolving wilds, so I just thought that like I would have no problem. But yeah, let's go through this. So let's just I can show you the I guess one thing about the games is I guess if I go back to that I can show you one of the mulligans here. Maybe not. I might have gotten rid of it. Oh, that's right. My recording got stuck. So let's go back and I'll go play through this here. Now, you can see a problem here that I run into. But I've been, I mean, in draft, I've been killed by turn 5 Mardu. So anyway, so I keep this because I have the monument, I have multiple colors, and I feel, even I feel that I can kind of get there. And the mulliganing I thought was a good start. I was kind of, yeah. I mean, maybe 3 monuments are not the best because it's not. But I think this is also a problem here where I'm not really able to monopolize and rediscover the way because here I play my first creature is a 5-drop and then of course then they just kill it. Here I'm hoping to basically survive here with a 2/4, but things get really bad. I mean, honestly, the siege is I just could not really keep up. I thought I'd be fine, but them basically constantly making the goblins, I could not keep up with the pressure. I was actually kind of surprised, but also having the blade was also really good. So, like my removal is my removal here is Dragonstorm against all these 1/1 goblins is just laughably bad, and a 4/3 just doesn't matter much. When basically they upgrade every one of their guys into. Sorry, I don't know if this is this game or not. It is, but yeah. I mean, yeah, you can see this, but this game is just really bad, and maybe it's. I mean, this is the problem in sealed, where especially in a set like this, where you have a dragon that doesn't affect the board. It is a 6/6 life linking flying dragon is great. Also, the delve, at times, can do powerful stuff, but it just does not stabilize the board enough. It doesn't put you ahead. They pay 5 mana to get rid of my 5 mana thing, and they're way ahead, especially with the siege ticking up every time. It was fairly brutal. Let's see if I can get through here. Also, the monuments giving the zombies was fine, but I mean, trading a whole card for a quarter of a card's value here with the blade. I really was hating that I should have had enchantment artifact removal at this point because they were just living on the back of this. And I'm waiting for some. Oh, and also the hexproof against monocolor was, yeah. Also with Dragon Cloud being a sorcery, you really killed me too. I mean, this is great, right? This has really high stats on, if we go, let me change this screen over. If we go to I mean, if we're looking at 17 lands, like you know, Roar of the Endless Song is an A+ card. So, you know, it is fantastic, but it just, big dumb dudes is not going to get, is not going to save me, basically, is the problem here, so. And they're at 34 life. So having their team do life linking is cool. So yeah, I don't. I mean that. I mean, I don't know. That one was just hard. I mean, obviously keeping a hand that didn't have. I just felt like, I mean, you can just see my curve, how messed up my curve is at this point. And I just feel if I'm going to run into another Mardu deck, that I can't just have my first thing be a 5 mana. And also, not having the Leopard just would have given me protection against enchantments and artifacts, which I just got completely destroyed by. So. Oh, that's right. Okay, I think my hard drive got. Oh, that was the other one. Okay, well anyway, that's another thing here. So anyway, let me go back into the last game. Bounce over here. But yeah, I don't know. This is my Chrome, and this is me. Cool, great, perfect. So lastly, I mean, this one went a little longer. But I don't have any fast action again. I mean, my only creature's a 5-drop. Again, yes. I mean, and it's just one of those things where I guess I just didn't think I was going to be against Mardu a second time. Oh, also this guy. I mean, which he's kind of like an army in the can, and it just very quickly got over. Here you basically see every turn he just made another guy, and even though finally I got out, you know, I made a 5/5 on turn 5, yes, and on turn 6. Here I thought I was going to stabilize a little better because at least I had the lifelinker out, but again, one dragon just is not enough. There's so much cheap removal at common that can answer it without having any effect on the board. Just made it, you know. I should have maybe gotten rid of theirs, but I had the second one, that's right, yeah. So I got my guy back. And then have Shrieker. So at least at this point I did stabilize enough. And I was able to get my life back going, but I think here's where I just underestimated. Oh, that's right. Yeah, and here that maybe I just should not have attacked into the. This is where I should not have attacked into the removal. I think that basically lost me the game right there. Basically, this point here, I attacked him because I was trying to apply pressure. I felt that I had stabilized. I felt that them being Mardu put them at a disadvantage. That, like, you know, my bigger creature was just gonna win out, and I really should not have. It just was way too easy. And also, whatever. It was just dumb. I mean, they had one black up. It was telegraphed. I also just kind of, I don't know. It was just really dumb of me, because I think that lost me the game here. Because if I would have held it back, I guess on my blocks, they could have done it. I don't know. It's really hard. It's one of those things where. And here, once they get the mobilize, once they get the, basically them dying here, that's just an inevitability because they have so many tokens, and they have this guy that keep on making tokens at every turn. I just didn't have enough removal, really not having enough direct removal. I mean, yes, I had these, and maybe I used these on, like, I don't know. I felt like them having a second one of these just made it so I was just going to be dead no matter what. because I knew at this point that if I didn't get removal for this, I was just going to die. Yeah, I mean, here now I'm at 3 life. It's just impossible. Even though I can block all day, I just can't get around. And the counter spell here now late is super bad. Yeah, here it says there's some things that maybe got missing, but here I'm just basically dead. So, $25 gone in like just so quickly. So what did we learn? Let's go over our so a couple different things. Was it worth it? Sorry, I started running out of time for this presentation. So I just had ChatGPT. It feels yes. It thinks totally based on my outcome. It was totally worth playing. I spent $75 US, and I get this collector's booster box, assuming I can get it shipped into the US. That's worth over $350. That's 4.6 ROI. At times that is a fantastic investment. I think I'm glad that I stopped playing when I did. I'm very happy I can still say that I won 33% of the time. Obviously I got to make videos out of this as well, and I got to have this. The story is not correct, ChatGPT, but still whatever. It got the rough idea, and I didn't see a lot of people that actually won the box. I'm sure that there was, maybe Paul Chion did. But yeah, anyway, so what else? My performance, it's not just, yes, of course I got lucky with my second sealed pool, so that definitely helps. But I mean, I think it could have been very easy to not play the 2 Wraths, and I could have gone Mardu or gone something else. But I think that some people just don't play 8 mana cards in sealed, period. Especially without having ramp. But I just had a good feeling from the pre-release that sealed could be slow enough. But before coffee, my performance was horrible. After coffee, it was great. And then obviously when I was hungry, it's bad. And this is just a thing where it's your sim levels. Basically, how are you physically? If you thought of yourself as a character in The Sims, how are you feeling before you go into some high stakes thing? I think really things. So don't play before coffee. Always check your fixing. I can't believe that I played 3 colors without adding the Evolving Wilds and tried to only play with 2. I was just stupid. It was too early. I didn't really spend the time. It's just on these Arena Directs, you only get 2 losses. I mean, or you only get 1 loss, and then the second loss you're out. So it's like it's just such a huge thing. I'm very happy overall. I'm glad that I played it. I think that having a 60% win ratio in my games overall is fantastic. 1 out of 3 trophies is great. It is so far much better. I mean, here you can see this is Premier Drafts. I wonder if I can do it all. Yeah, if we do, can we just see all here? You can see my last 10 events. I am tanking because I have been trying different decks in Tarkir. So definitely it's not been great recently. I was doing really good. But definitely my last few events I've been at a downward trajectory. 1 out of 4 is my trophy rate right now. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this presentation. I really enjoy Magic Arena and a limited play, especially sealed. So, but anyone that came here from the short, I really appreciate it. Please comment. How did you guys do it during the Arena Direct? Did it just eat up all your gems? Is it just a scam? I can't believe there's another one coming up now in another week or whatever for the play boosters, which I don't understand. It's 6,000 gems. Sure, you get more cards physically, but it's like one of those boxes I think is only worth $200 or something. So please let me know in the comments if you liked. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more Magic stuff. I might play other games on here as well. But either way, goodbye from Lao, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys so much.